what Joe Manchin said today about the stimulus package. Also, the progress out of the House of Representatives on the stimulus package today, as they're going to be bringing it to the floor, opening it up for debate. Also, Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell talking? Well, yeah, actually they are. I'll let you know what they're talking about. And an update out of OSHA on the vaccine mandate. All of that plus more in this video. Let's get into this right away. But really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you each and every day with all of the latest updates to help out in any way that I can, as I want to make sure that you stay tuned with everything going on right now, as things are changing very rapidly as a result of these multi-trillion-dollar stimulus packages, and I want to make sure that we're getting as much money and benefits we possibly can out of these packages. So again, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe down below, and let's get into this right away. All right, so let's quickly talk about what Joe Manchin said today in regards to the reconciliation bill, otherwise known as the stimulus package, the Build Back Better agenda, the Build Back Better plan, or some people call it the spending bill. There's a lot of different names out there for essentially the exact same thing, which is the nearly $2 trillion stimulus package that we've been talking about for about 5 or possibly even 6 months, maybe even longer. It's been a very long time now. However, yesterday Joe Manchin was out indicating that he was not too keen on actually bringing this to the floor in the Senate or even through Congress at all and passing it before the new year. Essentially, he wanted it to be pushed out into 2022. However, that reversed just a little bit today when Joe Manchin was out saying he would be open to bringing this reconciliation bill to the floor and actually passing it sometime before the end of the year, as in sometime in 2021. So, kind of interesting how that changed, but essentially he just pointed toward the congressional calendar and said, hey, I don't make up the calendar. So whatever they end up doing, I guess, we'll have to see. But all of that is still in flux right now, and we'll actually have to see how this whole thing plays out. But this all brings us right into my next point that I want to talk about, which is in my video earlier today, I talked about how Congress was supposed to be bringing to the floor in the House of Representatives this massive 1.75, 1.85, or nearly $1.9 trillion reconciliation bill. Now, you might be wondering, why am I saying all these different numbers? Simply because at this point, we don't even know what it is anymore. I see reports out there that say 1.75, 1.85, and 1.9. So honestly, we don't even know what it's sitting at anymore. It's somewhere around that range. That's why I've been saying thereabouts $2 trillion. That's essentially what it is. It's about $2 trillion. But the price tag continues to fluctuate a little bit around that $2 trillion, basically anywhere between 1.75 and about $1.9 trillion. So it's only $150 billion difference. I mean, just chump change, right? I'm just kidding. No, that's a lot of money. $150 billion? Anybody would take that. Yeah, so anyway. So basically, the House of Representatives was supposed to be bringing it to the floor in the House today to open it up and actually start debate on it. Well, surprise, surprise, it didn't actually happen. Oh, whoa, is anybody surprised right now? Well, I'm not. Well, that's basically what Democratic leaders were saying earlier today and even yesterday. They were saying that they will be bringing this bill to the floor and opening it up in the House for debate today. Well, it didn't actually happen. However, it could be happening tomorrow morning. Now, here's the thing. As I mentioned in previous videos, we are still waiting the CBO score, Congressional Budget Office score, to give us a whole price tag on what this whole thing is going to be. That's supposed to be out sometime on or before the end of the day on Friday. Well, guess what? We're kind of running out of time. We're basically only 2 days away, 48 hours away from the end of the day on Friday as of right now, right? I mean, we have a few extra hours to go, but essentially we can just call it the end of the day on Friday, which is pretty much 48 hours from now. It's a little more than that, but, we'll just say 48 hours. So here's the thing. We should be getting that sometime soon, and according to Democratic leaders, once again, they have indicated, well, it didn't really come today as far as opening up debate, but rather, hopefully tomorrow morning, as in Thursday morning, we'll be opening this thing up and starting debate on that, getting it all behind us, getting the whole thing done and over with as far as the debate goes, so that finally, when we do get that CBO score, it's just going to be a wham bam, let's just run through the votes on this thing and get it done and over with. That's kind of their plan on this thing, because because, they want to have some more free time. So that's what they are projecting as of right now. But again, it's a big we'll see, just like everything else that we've been talking about for so many months now, because they have been delayed time and time and time again with so many things going on in regards to the stimulus package. All right, let's talk about Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell. Talking? Yeah, these guys are actually talking. Can you imagine Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell actually talking? These guys, by the way, if you're not familiar who they are, Chuck Schumer is the leader of the Senate on the Democratic side, and Mitch McConnell is the minority leader in the Senate on the Republican side. Essentially, they can't stand each other. I don't know how else to put it, but they seriously cannot stand each other even one bit at all. So the fact that they're actually talking right now is kind of a little bit interesting, right? But they actually are talking, and it would almost be a little bit interesting to sit in on that conversation just to hear how it goes. I'm guessing there's probably a lot of tension in the air. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Who knows, right? I honestly don't want to be there. But here's the thing. They are talking about how to extend out the debt ceiling, to raise the debt ceiling or suspend the debt limit, because that is coming up literally in a matter of just a couple weeks from now, and they need to get that thing done. Or, just like I talked about in my last video a couple hours ago, we could potentially be looking at a massive default, as in the federal government can't pay the bills because the Treasury is out of money. So they have to do this by the time that the Treasury will be out of money, which, according to my video earlier, according to the Treasury Secretary, is around December 15th. So we're only about a month from now, right? So we're coming in pretty hot here, and it's coming fast, especially when we have a holiday between now and then, right? So there's a lot coming up here. Either way, those two guys are talking about how they can actually extend out the debt ceiling and do this in a bipartisan manner. We'll see about that, right? Again, everything is always a we'll see when it comes to Congress, because basically when it comes down to it, they really have a hard time working together. I mean, we've been noticing this for the last however many months now. Congress is really having a hard time working together these days. So anyway, we'll watch that. All right, let's quickly talk about the vaccine mandate as indicated by OSHA. Now, this is something that I talked about maybe about a week or so ago. I brought to you and said that any large companies with over 100 employees will have to require all of their employees to be fully vaccinated on or before January 4th of 2022. Well, at the same time, shortly thereafter, literally, I think it was the next day that came out, there were other reports out there saying that they were going to start requiring smaller companies with less than 100 employees to undergo the same vaccine mandates. Well, unfortunately, that was, well, again, I'm not taking sides when it comes to the vaccine stuff. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm simply here to tell you the information. But when it comes to the vaccine mandate, that is actually not going to be enforced anymore, because there have been some action on that, and basically that OSHA has come out and said, yeah, we're not going to be enforcing this anymore because there's some issues going on with that. So as far as the vaccine mandate, as you could all probably anticipate, there's been some pushback on that. But again, I'm not here to tell you what to do either way. I'm simply here to tell you the information as I'm finding it. So yeah, there's a lot of controversy about so many different things right now. It's unbelievable what is going on out there. Seriously, it feels like we're living in like this fantasy world. I was going to say fantasy world, but honestly, is it really a fantasy that we're going through right now? What's the reverse of a fantasy? I mean, what's the opposite of a fantasy? I don't know. But anyway, it seems like we're living in like this weird time right now where it's almost like we're disconnected with everything going on because it's so weird with everything, right? So I like to bring you some of these updates. I don't even talk about the weirdest stuff all the time. There's just so many different things going on out there. It's like, how could this possibly be happening right now? But anyway, when it comes to the stimulus package, it is still a real thing, even though it's getting really drawn out. This thing was supposed to be done way back in the end of September, but here we are approaching December rapidly, and we're still sitting on this thing waiting for them to actually do something. However, by the end of this week, we should be getting some major advancements on this thing. According to the House of Representatives, according to Democratic leaders, they should be making some major advancements on this reconciliation bill by the end of this week, which is literally only just a couple days away, if we take into consideration Saturday as well, because technically that's still this week, right? So yeah, we may actually be working into Saturday, and if that means Congress is actually going to get something done, then fine. I guess they should have to work into Saturday. So sometimes you got to do that, right? You got to work Saturday sometimes. Oh well, I don't feel bad for them, not one bit at all. But anyway, this is what we have as of now. Again, I wanted to come back and let you know the latest updates. As Democratic leaders said that they'd be bringing to the floor today this bill, the reconciliation bill, and opening it up for a debate. However, it didn't happen. So, according to what they're saying, it should be happening in the morning. Again, we'll see, but I'll keep you posted. Don't worry. So again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe down below, share this video, or go back and check out some of the other nearly 2,000 videos right here on the channel, and I'll continue to be here for you each and every day going forward. Enjoy.